Okay, guys, well, I think most of you know me. I'm Miss Fowler, and I see a lot of you that I had in first grade. You're all grown up now in third grade. But Miss Kilburn's been nice enough to let me come down here for a few minutes today and talk to you about something that's really important to me, okay? And I know you've got to go to the computer lab in just a little while, so I'm going to set my timer so I don't stay too long, okay? Now, since I can only stay for a short amount of time, I do have one rule, okay? You guys aren't going to be able to ask any questions, okay? And I know you're going to probably think of lots of things you'd like to say too, but we just don't have time for you to ask questions or share any of your stories. Maybe later today you'll have time for that. But I just had some things that I wanted to talk to you about. I think probably if you had me in first grade, you know how much I love dogs and that I've got two. And I brought some pictures in case you don't remember what they look like or in case you weren't in my class. This way you can know what they look like. It may be a little bit hard to see. But this is my dog named Sammy, okay? And she is 9 years old. And she loves riding in the Jeep. That's what this is a picture of. It's her riding in the Jeep. That's her favorite thing to do. And then this is my other dog, Flossie. And she's about 6 years old, okay? And she's just a big old baby. She loves to be held and rocked in a rocking chair, just like a baby. So that's my two dogs. And that's what I want to talk to you today about, some things you can do to take care of your pets, okay? I know some of you have dogs or cats. Raise your hand if you've got a pet. Oh, great. Well, that's pretty much everybody in here. That's awesome. So this will be some stuff that you'll need to know, okay? The first thing you all probably already know is that your pets need food and water, okay? And you want to be careful, especially with your dogs, because they like to eat people food, but that's just really not good for them. And a matter of fact, some food can even be poisonous. So before you feed your dog or cat any people food, you need to check with your parents to make sure it was something okay for them to have, okay? You don't want to make them sick. And you never give them anything to drink besides water, okay? That's all pets need. They just need water to drink. And then just like us, they need shelter. If they live in the house with you, then that's their shelter, okay? And that's where my dogs live, is in the house with me. But if they live outside, you need to make sure they have a house, okay? Like in a few days, it's going to get really cold. And inside that house, if you're going to leave them out there, they need to have lots of straw so that they can be warm. And when it gets really, really cold, you may even need to bring them like into your garage, or maybe your mom would let you put them in a laundry room or some room in your house, okay? Because if pets are left out in the cold, they can even die, okay? So you want to be sure they've got a shelter and a place to stay warm. Now, another thing that your pets need, they need to be able to exercise and play. A great way to take your dog to get some exercise is to put them on a leash and take them for a walk, okay? Another thing that you can do is you can buy toys for them. And I brought two of my dog's favorite toys. This is something Santa Claus brought them at Christmas, some little squeaky toys, okay? They like these. And I'll throw them. I'll sit on the couch and I'll throw it. And they'll run get it and bring it back to me. And then I'll throw it again. And that gives them some exercise playing around in the house, okay? And it just gives them something to do. So they like playing with toys. And if you have a cat, they make special toys for cats, okay? So you need to make sure your pets get lots of exercise and lots of play. That's good for them. Now, your pets need attention, okay? If you've got a dog or a cat, you don't want to just ignore them all the time. You want to give them lots of love and attention. Maybe let them sit on the couch with you and pet them while you watch TV or play games with them. One thing I do with my dog is I play hide and seek with her. Sammy loves that game. My husband Clay will cover up Sammy's eyes and he'll count to 10 and I'll go hide somewhere in the house. And then I'll say, "Come find me." And he'll uncover her eyes and let her go. And she'll run all through the house, sniffing, looking for me. And sometimes I might be behind a door and she'll run right past me and not even see me. And then I'll jump out and scare her. And she just thinks that's a really fun game. So you might think of things like that to do with your pets. Play little games with them, okay? They'll enjoy that. That's giving them attention. Now, you know how we need to take baths and wash our hair and brush our teeth, keep ourselves clean? Well, you need to do that same thing with your pets, okay? And you can either do it yourself, or you can take them to what's called a groomer. And they'll give them a bath and clean them for you and trim their nails. But in between getting those baths, I have something that I do with my dogs just to keep them smelling fresh. Because sometimes if they go outside and play, they might get a little smelly. And when they come back in, I just spray them with some of this. It just is called Refresh. And it makes them smell nice. And then I take this brush and I brush their fur. And that keeps all that fur that's wanting to fall out from getting in my floor. And it just makes them feel good to be fresh and clean, okay? Just put your hand down, sweetie. I'm sorry. I don't have time to answer your questions. Now, another thing that I do that you guys might think is kind of weird is I even take care of my dog's teeth. Because as dogs get older, their teeth will start to fall out. And they don't go to a dentist like we do. So I bought this special little doggy toothpaste. Now, you never use real human toothpaste on your dog. That can make them sick, okay? This is some special little doggy toothpaste. This is a little doggy toothbrush that goes on my finger. And my dogs like this. They think this tastes good, I guess, because when they see me get it out, they go jump up on the bed and lay down. And I just can hold their little lips and gums up, and I just brush their teeth, and they like it. And then I always give them a treat afterwards, okay? So that's something else you might want to do is take care of your pet's teeth. Take care of your dog's teeth. You can give them treats like this. This is something that my dogs like to chew on. It helps keep their teeth healthy too, chewing on things. You can buy lots of things for them to chew on that'll help clean their teeth. Okay, so you want to be sure that you take care of your pet's teeth. Now, another thing that's really important, because this is really sad, but it happens a lot. Even if you keep your pet in the house, you might open the door and he or she might see something and run out the door and get lost, okay? And your pet can't talk. So if somebody finds him or her, he can't say where he lives. So it's very important that you have a collar and then a tag on your pet, okay? And on that tag, you need to have your pet's name and a phone number so that if your pet gets lost and somebody finds them, they can call you, okay? Because otherwise, they might not know where they go. Now, you can also get your pet microchipped, and that's, a vet can do that, and it's like they give them a little shot in their back, and it puts a little microchip in there. And then if your pet gets lost and someone finds it, they can take it to the vet or to the shelter, and they have a little machine that'll scan it, and then they'll know that that's your pet. So that's another thing that you could do, but it's always best to just have a collar and a tag. Even if you got a microchip, you still need a collar and a tag in case your pet gets lost, okay? So I mentioned that your vet could do the microchip, and that's another thing I really want to talk to you about, is that it's important to take your pets to the vet. Dogs and cats, they need to go every year, and they can get shots called vaccinations, okay? And that keeps them from getting sick. It's really important that they go every year. Now, another thing that your vet can do, and this may be the most important thing that I wanted to talk to you about today, is your pet needs to be spayed or neutered. If you've got a girl, it's called being spayed. And if your pet's a boy, it's called being neutered. And what that does is it's just a simple little operation that keeps your pet from having babies, okay? And the reason that's so important is if John has a dog and it has puppies, and then back there Carly has a dog and it has puppies, and Owen's dog has puppies, and Aiden's dog has puppies. If everybody's dogs has puppies, then there's not enough homes for all those puppies, okay? And the same things with kittens. There's not enough homes for all of them. And so then what happens is you have a lot of homeless animals, okay? And that's just really sad for those animals because they have to either go to the shelter or maybe they go to a foster home or something. But every pet deserves a home of their own. And so we want to be sure that we don't add to that problem by letting our pets have lots of cats and lots of kittens or lots of puppies, okay? So if you've got a pet at home and it's not been spayed or neutered, sometimes you might hear it called being fixed. If your pet's not been fixed, talk to your parents about that. And say, I think that'd be a good thing for us to do is to take our pet to the vet and let it have an operation so that it can't have kittens or it can't have puppies. That would be a really good thing you could do to help solve that problem, okay? Now, I've got a story about a homeless pet, okay? And it's a coloring book, but I really liked the story, so I thought I would share it with you anyway. And it's called Pete the Pound Puppy, okay? And it's about a dog that becomes homeless. He says, "Hi, I'm Pete the Pound Puppy. Welcome to the animal shelter. This is home to many types of pets. Let's go inside for a tour. The shelter is a place of life and hope for lost and homeless animals of all kinds." And I don't know if any of you have ever been to our animal shelter, but that might be somewhere you'd want to talk to your parents about going to visit one day. Animal control officers rescue lost and homeless pets. They are our friends. And then this is just a little maze helping the animal control officer find the lost kitten. At the animal shelter, we are given fresh food and water. This is my friend Stella. Volunteers come to play with the animals and walk them every day. In a little bit, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that. You might want to be one of those volunteers. It's a really cool thing to do. Sometimes pets are lost. Stella got lost and did not have a collar with an ID tag. Okay, and that's something we talked about just a minute ago, how important that is. And sometimes pets like me are just thrown out of their homes by mean people who don't want to take care of them. My owners thought I could take care of myself. And you never want to do that, okay? If you have a dog or a cat that you don't want, you never want to just take them somewhere and drop them off, okay? If you can't take care of them, take them to the shelter where they can be taken care of. But a dog or a cat can't take care of themselves, so never just drop them off. Hey, babe, just come on in and have a seat back there. But pets that are abandoned, that means that are just dropped off like that, face many scary things. I could not find food, and there were other hungry animals all around me. Even the town streets were dangerous. So I found other homeless dogs, and we all stuck together. My friend Hobo was lucky. He found a family, and they liked him and took him in. But my friend Rex, he was not so lucky, and I miss him. He just wandered off, and they never were able to find him. One day, a nice lady saw me wandering around and called the animal control officer. I was rescued and brought to the animal shelter. That's where I met Stella. People come to the animal shelter to find lost pets and take them back home. Stella's owners came for her. She will always have an ID tag now. Some people who cannot keep their pets bring them to the animal shelter. It is better to bring pets here so people can adopt them than to abandon them somewhere else. Okay, and that's what I was just talking about. If you can't take care of your pet, take them to the shelter where someone can. People come to the animal shelter to adopt pets, like me. Today is my lucky day. So if you're ever looking for a pet, the animal shelter is a great place to go. And here's a word search, and we'll get to that in a minute. Now I'm a pet again. I'm a regular member of my new family. It is important to know how to care for your new pet. So when you get a new pet, or if you've got a pet now, you might even want to do like this little boy and get a pet care book and read it to find out even more things you could do with your pet. Always hold a pet carefully and gently and never hurt your pet. Pets need fresh food and water every day. Pets need a warm place to sleep. And pets can't talk, so they need collars with tags to tell who they are and where they live. And we just talked about that. Pets need a safe place to play and must never play near traffic. They are safest when they're inside a fenced yard. All pets need to see a veterinarian to keep healthy and happy. Remember, we just talked about that. They need to go every year. And if they haven't been spayed or neutered, that's something else they can have done at the vet, and that's very important. All pets need a good house for shelter and shady places in the summer. And I talked to you about how important it is to keep your pet warm in the winter, but it's equally important to keep them cool in the summer, okay? Because pets can die if they get too hot, too. Pete is very happy to have a home of his own at last. Come visit us soon at the animal shelter, okay? And that was the last thing I wanted to talk to you about, is that all of these homeless animals in our community need your help, okay? And there's lots of things you can do. First of all, get your pet spayed or neutered so that we won't have so many puppies and kittens that need homes. That's the first way you can help. And then another way you can help is that whenever you get ready to get a pet, go adopt one. Okay, you can go to the shelter and adopt one, or I'm going to give you a couple of websites to visit that show other pets up for adoption. And so that's a way that you can help these homeless animals. Adopt them and give them a home. Another thing that you can do is called fostering. Now, what that is you go and get a dog or a cat that doesn't have a home, and you just keep them with you until they get a home, okay? Now, they're not going to be your pet to keep forever. They're just going to stay with you for a little while. It might be just a week, or it might be a few months, or it might even be longer. But they stay with you while we're looking to find them a home, a forever home, okay? So you're just keeping them for a little while. But that gives them a place where they can be loved and have a good life instead of just having to stay at the shelter, okay? So fostering is a great thing you can do. That might be something you want to talk to your parents about. Another thing you can do is just volunteer. You might want to volunteer at the shelter. You can go up there, and they have lots of dogs and cats that need love and attention. You might want to just get in the kennel with them and pet them. You and your parents might want to put them on a leash and take them for a walk. They love to get out. and get to sniff around because they're kind of in their kennel most of the time. And so it's really great for them to get out and walk around. So volunteering's another thing you can do. And then you might want to just donate things. Like at Christmas, my class brought things like toys and food, and then we took them to the shelter and donated them. When you donate something, you give it away, okay? So you might want to go get some pet toys or pet food or other pet supplies and donate it to the shelter, or donate it to one of the other organizations that's on my list that I'm going to give you in a minute. So those would be ways you can help, okay? So think about those. Maybe pick one that you think you might could do. Now, I've copied you that cool little word search, okay? And it's got lots of words on here like adopt and friend and rescue and shelter, lots of words we've used today. But before you do this word search, on the back, I want you really quick to write down 3 things that I've talked to you about today, okay? 3 things that you've learned, either about how to take care of your pet or something that you might do to help a homeless pet. Just see if you can remember 3 things I talked about. And I know a few of you came in late, so if you can just think of one, that's okay. Has anybody thought of anything they want to share? All right, Carly, what'd you think of, babe?
Dogs need attention.
Good, very good.
Dogs, in the summer you need to keep dogs cool. In the winter you need to keep them warm.
Good. Presley, what'd you think of? Volunteer. Yeah, good. What'd you think of, sweetheart?
Foster.
Foster. Oh, these are such good answers, John.
Keep your pet clean.
Keep your pet clean. And one more right here, Michaela.
Loving.
Loving your pet. Yeah, that's important. I really might not have even said that, but that is very important that you just love your pet. Man, you guys were good listeners. I'm impressed. Well, I've got a paper here that I kept telling you I was going to give you. But what I'll do is I'll leave it with Miss Kilburn. And what it says, would you like to help homeless animals in our community? And I talked to you about some of the things you could do. And if you thought of something or you heard something that you thought, that sounds pretty cool, I'd like to try that, then take this home, have your parents go on the internet. Here's 3 websites you can go to. Or if your parents are on Facebook, here's 3 Facebook pages they can like. And you can find all kinds of ways that you can help homeless animals, okay? And at the bottom it says adopt, foster, volunteer, or donate. That's 4 ways you can help. And then it says the furry ones will thank you. And here's a little dog that's been adopted. Look how happy he is to be finding his forever home, okay? So I'll leave this with Miss Kilburn. She can send it home with you today. You guys can work on your word search, but you have been such good listeners. And thank you, Miss Kilburn, for letting us come. I appreciate that.
Miss Fowler, this might strike you as weird, but you're not the only one who plays hide and go seek with your little doggie.
Oh, really? Do you play it with yours?
We have a little corgi named Annie, and since our son is away at college, she's our baby. And I thought we were the only people who did that.
I thought I was the one.
Well, I'm glad to know we're not the only ones then. There's more of us. Well, that is awesome. Thank you so much, Miss Kilburn. And thank you, boys and girls.
Okay, so thank you. Now